All right, we're going to look at doing some transitions and animations on your slideshow. Start with just a quick little slide thing. I put together some images on it. First thing I said, these things annoy me when I have a blank. If I'm not going to use this text box, I always delete it, but that's just for editing purposes. In presentation mode, you don't see it, but that's just one thing. Pet peeve of mine, I guess. Anyway, so Goldilocks. So we have her on this first slide here. Second slide says she's eating porridge. Third slide tries a little chair. And third slide, oh my gosh, you broke it kind of thing. Well, if I play these in presentation mode, it's kind of boring. Goldilocks, boom. First one, eating porridge. Second board, there's a chair. Third one, oh shoot, darn. So that kind of there's no excitement there at all, especially if I'm going to tell a little kid this. So I'm going to add some, first we'll do transitions from one slide to the next. Transition is just how it goes from one, instead of just clicking from one to the other. So when I select this here, I can go under, let's see, I believe it's under Tools. Nope, maybe it wasn't. There, slide. There we go. Transition. So under the slide pull down, transition. I believe you can also right click on it and transition somewhere there too, maybe. But anyway, so once we have it open here, we can select. Right now we have this slide selected, the first slide selected. So the slide transition from this is none. I'm going to change it to a dissolve or a fade. Let's say dissolve, and then I can change the speed. I don't recommend slowing these down very much because they go too slow. You're waiting just forever for the next one. So I'm just doing a dissolve, and I can do a different transition on every slide if I want. It would be okay to maybe do a couple of them, but I wouldn't do like 5 or 6 different transitions. It kind of gets annoying. So we got the transition dissolve from that one, and then that's going to go to the next slide. Next slide, right click on that, and there's my transition again. And then I can go over here for the second slide. And this one I'm going to do a flip. Okay, that's kind of like a page flip. And then the next slide, right click again, transition, and then that one I'm going to do another dissolve, and then the last one I'll right click, and that one transition, and that one I'm going to do the flip again. So I've got 4 different transitions. So now when I go back to this first thing and I present it, first slide, here we go. When I pick it does a flip to the next one, and then it does a dissolve to the next one, and then I do a flip to the next one, and then that's it for the presentation. So it actually, this one here, it had a dissolve, but that's what it would dissolve into. This one here has a flip, so it's going to flip into that second one. So when we were in presentation mode, because flip is on the second slide, when I go from this slide and I click, it flips into the next slide. So you got to remember, it's not the slide you're selecting, it's actually the one that's coming into it. That's how it's going to come into it. So this is coming into this slide. So remember that. Next, we'll do animations. Like I said, each one of these things, the things just appear on on the slide itself. So let's make this a little bit bigger. We'll make this like it was a 14 anyway, goofball. There we go. So it's 24. So now I'm going to have the Goldilocks image appear first, and then I'm going to have the text come in after that. So what I mean by that is when the slide first comes in, there'll be nothing on it, and then this will come in when I want it to. So if this was not on, when I select this image, I can go right click on it again, and now I can animate it. So animate, then this opens up, the side window opens up. This is where our transitions were. But now, because we have this selected, it's got the box around it, it shows that there's an object animation, and it's suggesting a fade in. So I think I'm going to have it fade in. I like that, and I'll fade in kind of slow, and it's on mouse click. So that means that when I click, it's not going to be there until I click, and then it will appear or it'll fade in. So let's try it. Once I try that, I got it in there, I'm going to hit play. So it shows me what the slide is going to look like. So it flips in, nothing's there. I hit click, and then it fades in. But the text was there first. I think I want that text to appear after the image. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go back. This is my fade in. And on the text box, now I've got over here, I'm going to add the animation. So I'm going to add, this is for the text box, and I'm going to have it, let's have a fly in from the right. Now, notice that when I select this, that's here, but it's after the other image. So they're going to come in the opposite order. If I play this, it flips, and then nothing happens until I click, and then that appears in, and then click again, and then it flies in. So that's the order I want that. Fade in, fly in, because I selected them in that order, it put them in there. Now, if I was doing this on this one, and I said, okay, in my text here, same thing, I'm going to add the animation, and I want this text here, it's going to fly in from the left this time, and it's going to do on mouse click, and then the chair is going to appear. We'll add animation, and I'm going to have it zoom in, and it's this time, it's instead of being on a click, I want it to go after the previous thing. So when I look at that, you can see that this shows a little text there. She little. So that's this one here, she little. And then it shows a little picture of the chair. That's the chair. So it's in the text first and then the object. So when I play that, it goes to the next one, dissolves in. I click, and the text comes in, and then the chair appears. But if I don't want that chair to appear, I want it to appear first, I got to change the order. So stop that. So it's real easy. I just take this, click on it with the waffle, and I move it up to the top above the other one. Now it switches them in order. But notice, remember, this is after previous, and this is on mouse click. So when I play this now, when the slide comes in, it automatically brings a chair in. Nothing happens until I click. So if I'm telling the story, that'd be a good little pause. It'll build up and wait for that text to come in. So you choose what order, and you choose whether it's on a click or whether it's automatic, and you can do that with all your animations, and it can switch the orders. And there are, when you go, oh, stop. When you go to add animations, yes, there's a lot of animations. We can take these things and we can do some crazy stuff, just get really, I don't know, can do too much, and then it just ends up, so when I click, it spins, and then it zooms on out. So you can add as much as you want, but you start getting too many or too many varieties, then it gets kind of irritating, maybe annoying. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing your animations. So transitions, animations, remember you just right click and it gives you the options over here. If this is not open, I can right click on a slide, or I can right click on an image and choose animate, or right click on a slide and choose my transition. So easy to add those things. A lot of options when we get into these things, when we're animating them, a lot of varieties in here. So play with them a little bit and test them out, see what they look like, and then always check them in presentation mode when you're all done to see how the whole thing works together. All right, see you on the flip side. Thanks for listening.